Bear with me, guys. I'm having some little technical stuff. I'm going to change some settings right quick, if you can hear me. Just bear with me 1 second. Okay, here we go. Admit all. All right, here we go. Sorry about that, guys. Had a little technical difficulty. For some reason, my screen just disappeared. I knew you were there, though. How is everybody today? You guys want to unmute and say hello? Hey, Joe. Hey, Myra.
Hi.
Hello. Hello.
How's it going, Victor?
Hey, it's going great. How you doing, Jerry? Ronnie. Waylon. Jaime. Tito's back. Sorry about that, Tito. He was bearing through my technical difficulties with me. Ronnie.
Good afternoon.
Hey, how's it going?
Grinding.
Right, you guys. Good. You guys out there rocking it, doing deals, knocking them down?
Lining them up.
Lining them up and knocking them down. That's right. Anybody have any good stories they want to share? Any stories about prospecting, about calls they made, about people they met?
I'm starting this process of helping out my good friend from childhood, Hervik, slowly getting myself familiarized with the whole industry and the verbiage. I've been a salesman my whole life, so I feel confident speaking to people. Is just like with anything, you got to have the product knowledge to be able to sound convincing and persuading. So I like the challenge. I'm helping them out. I've helped them out land 2 deals already. So slowly learning and growing.
Okay. So let's see. Are you Josh? You're Josh?
I'm Josh, yes.
Okay. All right. Well, welcome, Josh. It's a pleasure having you, man. Hopefully, you can gain a little something from our little little forum that we have here. We do this every Wednesday. And what we do is we practice the gut sales system as taught by Claude Diamond, who is mentor to both myself and to Justin Chamness, who Justin is the host, is the producer of this particular Wednesday training. I'm the host. My name is Victor Walker. Let me change this in here because I said I was having problems. I'll put the correct name so you know who I am.
What's up, Victor? What's going on?
There you go. Hey, what's going on, Philip? Welcome, my friend.
Oh.
All right, let's see. We got some folks waiting. Let's let everybody in here. Okay, so I'm going to put up a couple of things that we use in sharing our program with people. Give me 1 second. I'm going to share my screen with you guys. Okay, so can everybody see that mastering the phone to get property deals?
Got it, Victor.
Okay, cool. All right, so this is basically our methodology. This is Joshua, you were talking about, kind of getting some product knowledge. And as far as the sales skills, and you'll gain some product knowledge because we'll have conversations and you'll find people asking questions about particular situations that they're in or the role plays that we're doing. But this is basically our foundation for what we do in terms of sales. So ideally, typically when you come into a sales conversation with somebody, they're going to be someplace around the middle unless they're not. If they're anywhere less than that, that's going to be a really quick conversation and you're going to know it, right? You're going to just, dismiss yourself. The idea, obviously, with the rest of this process is to get these people someplace in the 8, 9, or 10 range where they're motivated and that they have developed a relationship with you such that they like you and trust you and are ready to do business with you. Everything else is revolves around getting to that particular end in mind. There are 3 rules that we operate by. We always set the agenda. Here's the agenda area right here. We set a roadmap. We get permission to ask questions. We give them permission to ask questions, and we also give them permission to fire us. And you'll see how it's played. Basically, Mr. Seller, my name is such and such. You have a property for sale at such and such. Look, is it okay if I ask you a few questions? Feel free to ask me a few questions, and within a short time, we'll know whether or not it's a match. And if it's not, feel free to fire me, okay? So that's a typical opening that we use, kind of like set the stage, kind of take control of the situation while at the same time giving them permission to go ahead and cut this out if they want to. And then rule number 2 is you want to do that within 3 minutes. Give me 1 second.
It's always like kind of like a takeaway or like a treat. Don't worry, you can fire me at any time. This is my numbers. It's kind of like detaching yourself from the emotional. Numbers speak for themselves. This is what I would think. I'm not gonna get emotionally attached.
Okay. I don't know if somebody is speaking with us or if they usually move. Okay. So then we go to rule number 2, which you got 3 minutes. And that process that I refer to right there, you have about 3 minutes to qualify this prospect and get this prospect to either, poop or get off the pot, right? If they're not going to move forward, if you don't see an opportunity to move them into this 8, 9, or 10 range because of attitude, because of lack of motivation, whatever reason you'll identify, and you want to do it in the first 3 minutes. Why do we say in the first 3 minutes? Because like you were mentioning, Joshua, you have experience in this business. This is a burnout business. And if you don't control your time and your energy, not only what you're putting out, but what you're taking in, you will quickly burn out and you won't even be able to get your calls made in a day, because a couple of bad calls in a row can put you in a bad space and, now you're out of it. So that's one of the reasons we do that. And rule number 3, if they're not qualified, if they won't move, you need to fire them. And you need to fire them within, ideally, the first 3 minutes. Now, it doesn't always work out that way. Sometimes it takes you 10 minutes or whatever, right? So those are the rules. And then I already went over the agenda. And here's the conversation sections. And this section right here is really important. You'll see it played out in the role play. Why are you selling? Okay, there is something we call need or greed, and you have to identify which one it is. They either have a need or they have a greed, and it's the sooner you can identify that, the more you can move into these other areas of the conversation. And then number 2 is the money. The money in whatever particular strategy you're using will take on many different sections. So you might need to know, how much they owe. You might not. You might need to know, what's their monthly payment. You might need to know how much money they need to get out of this deal to make it work. Those are the money questions that you're going to be mining for. How soon do they need to get out of this? How soon do you need to solve their problem for them? And if you solve them, will they commit to you today? And that's the next one, which is commitment. Get their commitment, right? They need to say yes. Not maybe, not, oh, just send me something or anything like that, because anything but a yes is basically wasting your time. Now, whether or not it's going to be a follow-up scenario, and it could possibly be that. I mean, in this business, sometimes deals don't get done for 6 months. I'm working on a deal right now with a partner, and she's been working on the deal for a year. So that's not necessarily uncommon in this business. So don't get discouraged when deals don't close right away. And then when we get to the closing, we're going to recap what we learned from them. We're going to recap what their motivation is. We're going to solve and satisfy their need or their greed. We're going to, once we do this and you're able to get to where you want to go, can we go ahead and get that commitment in writing today? Great. And then ask questions, but more importantly, ask them if they have any questions that you can resolve for them before you get off the phone. Okay. Now, it doesn't say it here, but there's one real important thing when it comes to real estate conversations. Who are the decision makers? One, which is different, sometimes the same, but it's a different question than who's on title. Because both of those are going to be important to you when it comes time to close this deal. If you think you're talking to the right person and they're saying all the right things and they're moving in the right direction, only to find out that they're not even on title. Not a good look. Okay. So that's kind of the layout of what we do. And we do it basically in a role play. Let me stop sharing the screen real quick, and we're going to move to some role play. All right, looks like we got a few more people in the house. Welcome, you guys. All right, so how you doing, Jerry?
Doing great.
Good, good, good. You look like you got some energy, man. You over there smiling and how's everything going with you?
It's going good.
Yeah, moving forward, making some progress.
Moving forward, making some progress.
Mhm.
Talking to quite a few people. No yeses, but if it doesn't sell in a couple of weeks, maybe I'll give you a call back, that type.
Okay.
I had a couple of deals. I was talking to people where the homeowner was like, I'm going to try to sell it myself.
Okay.
And I thought about when Justin last week talked about doing a deal where he actually helped someone in Kentucky where he was actually market the property for sale. But then I started thinking, if I did that, then I was more acting as a realtor. So I wasn't sure I wanted to talk to him more about that.
We have an agreement in there where you can actually, you'll be acting as a consultant, not as an agent. You won't be signing any documents. You won't be interviewing the other party, none of that stuff. What all you'll be doing basically is guiding them through the process. And it's actually a cool little adjunct to what we do, in as much as you become a consultant and you pass on your knowledge for a fee.
Okay.
And you can determine what that fee is.
But I thought Justin was actually marketing the property.
That may have been the case. He might have had it under contract in a particular way, or he might have contracted with them as a marketing consultant.
Okay.
Yeah, you might want to talk to him more about that. You can reach him in the chat room or on tonight's VIP session. But I would probably broach that with him. But more than likely, he was acting as a consultant, and he had certain things that he was willing to do for the consultation fee.
Okay.
Yeah, and you can do that pretty much anywhere as long as you have it in writing. Well,
okay.
Yeah, and if you don't have it in writing, you're just giving away free information, and I don't know how smart that is, because you could be trying to close deals during that time.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll talk to him more about it tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Because I'd like to hear a little bit more about it too. I'll be on that call as well, and I'll be interested in hearing how all of that worked out in terms of him doing the marketing and stuff for
Yeah.
him. Anybody got anything else you guys want to throw in here before we start on the role plays? Okay.
I mean,
right.
I got something actually.
I'm sorry. I think it's your first time on here. What's your name?
It is. My name's Alex Wojcik from the Denver area in Lakewood.
Hey, Alex, how you doing, my friend? I see your title says Team REIE, so I didn't know what your name was.
Yeah, my apologies. Yeah.
No problem.
Well. Yeah.
Good.
So I got one gentleman, so it's kind of a confusing situation. So he has two properties. One that's in Denver.
Okay.
Sorry, someone's not on mute right now. So he has two properties. The one on Grant Street, he wants to sell.
Okay.
That one is not in foreclosure. And then he has another one on Bryant Street, which is in foreclosure with a private lender. He wants to keep the one that's in pre-foreclosure, but he wants to sell the one that's not in pre-foreclosure that's worth a little bit more. So I've been having conversations with this gentleman, told him essentially our max is about 420. And he tried to play some hardball with me the other day and told me, and this guy's like in his early 70s, has a lot of health issues, and he wants to do business with us. But actually he really wants us to come up on the price, but he's not doing anything. He doesn't want to list it with an agent. I'm not an agent. He just wants to sell it for cash, be done with it. And 420 is the max we could go. He said he had somebody who offered him 470. I was like, that's great. They sound like a great person. You should lock it down with them, get that contract signed. Yeah. And I know he hasn't. And last time I talked to him, he did not. So I'm really trying to get him into a deal with us so he doesn't end up losing both properties, more or less.
Okay. So did you want to try to role play that a little bit, or was that basically a question? How do you want to play it?
Yeah, we could do a role play. That would be fine.
Okay. All right. You want me to play the buyer, or are you going to be the buyer still, and I'll play his side?
I'll probably be the buyer just because he's just doing the runaround,
Okay. All right. And so he has two properties. Both of them in foreclosure. Do we have a foreclosure date?
So one of them is in foreclosure. The one that
and one of them is in pre.
Well, no, one is in pre-foreclosure. The other one is not.
Okay. And the pre-foreclosure one is the one for how much? 470?
So I could give you the name. So the one on Grant.
Okay.
That one's worth 580, and we offered him 420. And then the one on Bryant is worth 450, and he owes 220 on both, each one individually. He wants to sell the one on Grant Street because it has a higher market value, and wants to keep the one that's in pre-foreclosure, Bryant Street.
Okay. How long does he have? How long does he have on the foreclosure?
He has about 2 months.
About 2 months?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
And the other thing is he has health issues, and he's going into the hospital pretty often. He has he got his esophagus removed, and he's in his early 70s with COVID, and
he has COVID?
No, just with COVID, it's tough with him because he can't have someone come in and look at the house all the time.
Oh, got it. Okay. All right, let's play it.
All right, let's do it.
All right. And what's his name?
Charlie. I'll be Charlie.
Oh, you'll be Charlie. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Hey, Charlie. This is Victor. How you doing?
Oh, good, Victor. Nice to hear from you again.
Oh man, likewise, man. How's everything going with the with the health issues? You hanging in there?
Yeah, I've been up in the mountain house, and I've been in Denver, and every day it's a struggle. Some days I feel like doing stuff, sometimes I don't.
Yeah, so Charlie, I was thinking about your situation, and you know, I really want to get this thing resolved for you, but you know, we're a little bit apart on the offer price. And you know, I honestly, to be quite honest with you, Charlie, I have some concerns. You know, I mean, I want to get this done for you, and we need to get it done right away. And I know you have something in your mind that you really want to get done, but you know, I hate to be hard or come off as a jerk or anything, but Charlie, you know, assuming the worst case scenario, you know, this could get caught up and you could lose everything. I would hate to see that happen. So, you know, is there anything we can do in terms of some flexibility here? I mean, you know, I think we have a real strong offer in there for you. We can close on this quickly. Let me ask you something. What's really the holdup here? What's really on your mind? What's stopping you from moving forward on this? Is it just the money?
Yeah, it's the money. I want to get the most amount of money possible. You know, I had someone who offered me 470.
Well,
So,
Charlie, that sounds like a great offer, man. I mean, I would not stand in the way of that. Why? I mean, why didn't you just sign on the dotted line on that one?
well, I know the house is worth probably 600,000. It's in Wash Park. You know, it's a nice area. You know, I think I could get a lot more for it than that.
Yeah, yeah. You know, you might be right, Charlie. You might be right. You probably could get a lot more, you know, if you were sure that you had the time and that it would not end up in a situation, you know. Now let me ask you, who is on your inheritance list? Who's looking to gain from you know, you preserving these deals and locking down these houses, Charlie?
Well, actually, my nephew died last month. I do know that.
Oh my God,
Yeah.
Charlie, man, you are. Oh, this is. I'm sorry to hear all that, man. I mean, you're definitely going through it, man. Uh, Sorry to hear that. I've lost some family members recently too, and it's nothing easy. But at least I wasn't also, you know, ill. So man, my heart goes out to you, my friend.
Yeah, thanks. It's been tough. So I mean, I could pass it down to my nephew. I have my niece. I'm not that close with her. I'm not sure if I would want to pass it down to her.
Okay, okay, okay. So basically, okay, this picture is not going to be like the prettiest picture, but let's assume, Charlie, you know, that something was to, heaven forbid, happen to you. Do you care what happens after the fact? Or it doesn't sound like I'm honed in on where this money, where you really need this money to go. What is this money for? What are we looking to do with this money, Charlie?
So I would like to take the money from Grant Street
Uh-huh.
to pay off the other house on Bryant Street and turn it into a rental because I know I can rent it for about $3,000 a month.
Okay, so you want to take Grant Street and pay off Bryant Street.
Yep.
Okay, now we offered you 420 on Grant. That doesn't work for you. I do know that you owe 220 on the mortgage on this, right? So that would basically give you $200,000 because we're going to pay the closing costs for you.
Okay. So let's see, 420 minus 220. That's 200,000. I would still owe 20,000 on the house on Bryant Street
Okay.
in order to own that outright, and that one's in foreclosure right now. So I don't know what I would do to get an extra 20,000.
What is it going to take to get out of foreclosure, Charlie?
I need to pay the entire note.
You need to pay the entire note of 220 on the property.
220,000. Yeah,
Okay.
220,000 on Bryant.
220,000 on Bryant. Um, okay. You putting me in a pickle here, Charlie. You put me in a pickle, man. I'm trying to work these numbers to your favor. Um, okay, so we need 220 to pay off the other one. That's for sure, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay, so we're looking at let's look at 220 then. You have two mortgages of 220, so you need 440 to clear up all the mortgages, right?
That's right. That's correct.
All right. So let's say I cleared up all the mortgages for you. How much money would you need then after that? How much are you looking to after that? Assuming we're going to look forward, 30 days, let's say. All your mortgages are now paid up. Your property's out of foreclosure. You're on ground zero. Now, how much money would you need to walk away with that?
Well, probably to be able to rehab the house on Bryant Street, so I could rent it out for the 3,000. So an extra 20,000 on top of that.
Okay. So if you could walk away with $20,000 and get your mortgages paid off, we have a deal here.
Now, yeah, I think that would work. How would we do that?
Well, what we can do is, Charlie, are you willing to hold on to a little bit of a note for a short period of time while we put the finances together and got the other houses in shape and rented out and sold? Could you give us
Yeah, I would like to do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to lose it in foreclosure. I'd like to do that.
Okay, great. Well, I'll get all this down on paper. Exactly what you and I talked about. Our main goal here, let me recap a little bit, is to pay off the mortgages, get you out of that situation, and make sure that you walk away with $20,000, right? That's our end goal. If we can do that for you, we have a deal?
Yeah, we could have a deal with that.
Now, Charlie, you've been a man of your word the whole time, so I trust that you're going to follow through on this, and I want to make sure that this will solve your problem and get you where you need to be, my friend.
Okay. Yeah, I appreciate that, Alex. Victor, yeah. Thank you.
We good? All right.
Yeah,
well, I'm gonna get all this down on paper and get it over to you right away so you can go ahead and get it signed. And we're gonna move forward on this, and we're gonna solve this problem, and we're gonna get you resolved so you can have some peace while you're recovering, because I expect that you're gonna make a full recovery, my friend.
I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm strong-willed, so thank you.
Yeah, I know you are. All right. Well, I'm going to get this together, and I'll follow up with you here in about an hour or so once I get these numbers down, and we'll talk again. Is an hour good for you, or is 2 hours better?
Yeah, I'd probably later this afternoon would be good.
About what time, Charlie?
Well, it goes day by day, so maybe about 4 o'clock.
Okay. Now, Charlie, I'll try to reach you at 4 o'clock. I know you're in a real precarious situation. If you find a little window in there or whatever that you feel is more comfortable for you, feel free to reach out to me. Okay, I'll be on notice for your call.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Good to hear
All
from
right,
you.
my
Thanks.
friend. It's a pleasure speaking with you all the time, man. And Godspeed.
Yeah, thank you. You're a pleasant person. Thank you.
You take care. Okay.
All right, you too.
All right. So, off role play.
Yeah.
What are you thinking? What are your
Man,
thoughts?
I love that. And I've been trying to think of the best way to do that, because, we can give him, the 420 for that house, on Grant Street for sure. But I know in the back of his mind, he wants, an additional 20,000 to be able to pay off that house. And then on top of that, he wants an additional 20,000 to rehab the house and be able to rent it out. So essentially going up $40,000. I'm trying to think of the best way for him to hold that note and be able to hold on to that property and then create cash flow for him monthly.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So especially if you create a situation where, you can get him what he needs up front. And if he's willing to wait on the rest or do a carry back on the rest, which he'll be in position to once those mortgages are paid off, then he can act as the bank. Charlie, you can get some return on this. We can put you in a situation where, you're getting a monthly cash flow and getting a little bit return, and you already have that, chunk of money in your pocket. How's that sound?
Yeah, that sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah. Does that make sense for you?
Yeah, no, it does make sense. Piecing it together to essentially come up with an additional 40 grand is, that's a little mind-boggling for me. You know what I mean? Because I can't get it from a money lender, private money lender. It would obviously have to be a owner finance type of deal. I couldn't do a lease purchase because he still wants to hold on to the house and rent it out, right?
Yeah. Now, you could do a sandwich lease, which will pay the note and give him a little extra money and still have you in control.
Okay. I didn't consider that. That's a good deal. Okay. All right.
You understand what I'm saying there?
Yeah. Mhm.
Yeah. You can do a sandwich lease on it. It'll still be paying off his mortgage if you can get the rents that are, a few $100s above what his note is, and split it with him. Now
Okay.
you're cash flowing on a monthly. And you guys, please don't take this the wrong way. Charlie he's on a clock. You can take care of Charlie for the rest of his days, more than likely. And then you just make sure that you're on title, that you have contractual control of that property, and you can make sure that everything works out not only in your favor but in his as well, and you can be altruistic in this scenario.
Yeah. No, that's great. And I mean, he's looking for something creative. He trusts me. He literally gets a phone call every 3 to 5 minutes about his house because he has multiple properties. So,
okay.
I mean, I'm that guy. Me and my partner are that guy. So I really appreciate that role play. Thanks for letting me jump in on that. That was awesome.
Oh, yeah, absolutely, man. I enjoyed that one as well. I like the ones that are a little outside the box there, because we get them all the time. So I appreciate you. All right, you guys got any questions, any feedback, anything anybody want to jump in here? Jimmy Dean, always good to see you, my friend.
Yeah, that was great.
How you doing?
I'm good, man. I'm good. Hey, thanks, Harvard. Appreciate that, buddy.
That was good.
Yeah. All right. Anybody else want to jump in? Anybody got any questions, or do they have a scenario that they run across that they'd like to role play?
Yeah, I have a scenario that was pretty unique.
Now, does anybody want to do it with Harvard, or am I on the block again?
We could do it, Harvard.
Yeah,
okay.
That's my man, Jimmy. All right.
No,
so, Harvard, you want to set the scenario for us? Let us kind of know where we're going with it.
Yeah. The scenario is there's a veteran who has a TSP. He has about 100,000 in a TSP, which is similar to like a 401k. He's interested in pulling the funds from the TSP or 401k, obviously just doing a loan.
Okay, let me go back to you, Harvard. I always do this to you, right? So
right,
because you like doing that industry jargon stuff.
No, wait, TSP is just 401k. It's a 401k, but it's a military, it's thrift savings plan. That's all it stands for.
Okay, all right. So the client would know what that is if you were speaking with the client.
Yes.
Okay, because
the client knows what a TSP.
All right. Okay. I'm off your case. Go back.
He was like, man, you're throwing some industry jargon out there. No.
Yeah, you gotta keep it simple for the average folk, man. We don't know nothing about that.
Yeah, TSP is the thrift savings plan. It's the military version of a 401k.
Nice. Now I'm absolutely clear. You know what I'm saying? I mean, dumb it down. The more you dumb it down, the more engaging you can be, because you don't want a person figuring it out.
True.
No
extra questions, no thought. Exactly. Simplified.
No, you need them present with you at all times. You cannot have them be in figure out mode.
Yes, right.
That'll cost you.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm gonna jump back out.
Well, okay, just to set the tone, everybody's clear what a TSP is. All right. So the military version of a 401k, he's interested in taking the loan out because things have changed due to COVID-19 to where now you're able to take out 100% of your account and lend on that. Okay. So he's interested in taking those funds out and funding a policy. So now the question becomes for him is, do he want to, well, number one, the option is and take the money to fund a policy to invest in real estate, or B, take the loan out, fund a policy, and then begin to build cash value over the years and take over his daughter's car loan. So right now that's the struggle with him, but his biggest thing is not fully understanding the process, so to speak, the strategy. Yeah. Okay. Is that cool, Jimmy Jean?
It makes sense. Come on, let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
Hey Jimmy, you there?
Yes, I'm actually here.
Yeah. Yeah. This is Harvard. Harvard. We spoke about a week or so ago. You asked me to run some illustrations for you in regards to your TSP.
Okay, I'm here. What
Hopefully
kind
you
of game we
remember
doing?
me. Yeah, just it won't take no more than three actually. I actually have a few illustrations that I wanted to share with you. The first one is built around you utilizing your cash value from your TSP to invest in real estate. I remember you saying that you had some goals where you wanted to get into wholesaling and such things like that. Did any of that change?
No, it actually didn't. At this moment, I'm kind of interested, but I'd like to hear more about it.
Okay. Okay. So are you active real estate currently, or is this something that you're just thinking about?
Now I'm actually thinking about it.
Eh, Okay, okay, okay. So I have that strategy built out for you, and then the second strategy you mentioned that you wanted to also maximize your policy, make it a family bank, and basically taking over one of your daughter's car notes, and so building the family banking system through your policy. Is that still something that you're interested in also?
Of course, I'll be open to that as well. Because I don't
Oh,
want my daughter to actually be stressing about the payments and etc. I like to take over that responsibility since I'm the dad.
and that's a very noble thing to do, and I really appreciate a man that sees the value in being able to help his family and his children, so that's commend you for that. But this brings the question to me, like, which is more important to you, investing in real estate or being able to assist your daughter in her note and have some flexibility within the policy, to whereas if a month comes and she's like, hey, baba, I'm a little short, I'm not able to make the note payment this month, but if you give me a little extra time, I'll be able to make the payments back up to you. And that level of flexibility, which matters most to you.
I believe, I got it. Well, if when it comes down to my daughter, I think that would actually matter the most. I think the second option would be perfect at the moment.
Okay, okay. Now this brings the next question. I really appreciate your honesty with that. Now, what is the max budget you have in regards to a premium annually? The illustrations that I ran for you last, we mentioned that you wanted to do a 15,000 annual premium,
Okay.
which gives you roughly about 60-70% cash value within 30 days. So I believe your what is the note on your daughter's, what is the remaining balance on your daughter's car loan?
She actually owes at least what 16,000 on it. The
16,000.
remaining
Okay.
balance is sixteen
Okay.
thousand.
Okay. Okay. So just with the illustration of 15,000, you have about 60-70% of that. So we're looking at roughly around 9,000 maybe. So if you really want to take charge of your daughter's car loan, you're going to have to increase your premium. Now, I'm just curious, are you capable of just adding maybe another 5 to 10,000 to your premium annually?
Okay, if I actually add another 5 to 7, how would things actually look for me and my daughter in the future?
In the future? Well, the
Yeah.
first thing we want to remember is that maximizing you're going to be maximizing your policy through the TSP. So as of right
Okay.
now, you're not really able to use this TSP. It's just something that sits there. It looks good when the market's going up, and it looks horrible when the market's going down. So with this particular strategy, we're going to be able to access that capital immediately. So
Okay.
what I'm looking at is, I really just want to know your level of your level of dedication. I need to know that you're committed to this, because it's going to require about 3 to 4 years to build up the cash value in this policy. But within the first 30 days, if you increase your budget on the premium base, you'll be able to take
Okay.
over your daughter's mortgage immediately within 30 days. How does that sound?
That sounds, to be honest, that sounds good to me. What do we have to do next? Because I don't want my daughter to actually to lose the car notes and
Yeah,
lose the all in the years she's been paying for that car, and she really
yeah,
loved that car. So I would
yeah.
really, really don't want nothing to happen, and 'cause that's my firstborn. I always want to keep a smile on her face.
Oh
But
my goodness.
what you think we need to do? Because I don't want nothing bad to happen. I need to make sure she's covered since I'm the dad, and I got
Okay.
the responsibility to do what I have to do right now. You
Got
tell
it.
me. I don't
Okay.
know too much. You tell me
Okay.
what
No,
what to
that's
do next.
perfect. That's perfect. And then I appreciate you trusting me. As you know, I'm a straightforward guy. I'm gonna be honest with you. The fact that you have 100,000 inside your policy, I suggest we remove it all. Do a 100% removal, loan on the policy. If I'm not mistaken, it will be a roughly 5% return, interest on the loan itself. And what we will do is for the first 4 years, we will do a 20,000 annual premium,
Okay.
and we will supplement your lifestyle because, as we already know, your TSP, aka 401k, they're gonna pull it out of your paycheck every month. They're gonna increase it, and it should only increase roughly about another $300-400. Okay, but we're gonna pull that from the policy to supplement your lifestyle, and in the meantime, we're gonna be able to take over the loan, the car note loan from your daughter and put it directly into the policy. So she will begin paying into your policy $500 a month, and that will build up your policy. So how does that sound?
It kind of sounds a lot at this moment, but I might need to go ahead and sit down and talk this with my attorneys to make sure all this is legit, so I can have a better, more understanding of how things actually really operate.
Mm.
Do you have a minute so we could run this by my attorney to see how
Well,
we can make this work out?
yes, I have no problem speaking with your attorney, but I thought you trust me in regards to what I'm saying and the information I'm providing. Now, if there's some issues, we could talk it over right now, but going to speak to your attorney, unless they understand how this particular product works, it's just going to be it's going to be like, Sesame
Um,
Street.
let me jump in here on you, Harvard.
Okay.
So
I saw in the chat
you,
somebody said if a voice saying loan against is use liquidating. Okay.
Yeah.
I like
okay,
that. I
okay,
like that.
okay, yeah, that might again, going back, staying away from some of the jargon. But the one thing that you don't want to do is to start to become confrontational or antagonistic towards the client. So right there, you were like, I thought you trusted me,
Mm.
which is sort of like, you're confrontational to a degree, right?
To a
Right.
degree, right.
What you want to do is you want to agree with them. Oh, I absolutely, I totally get that, and I could see why you would want to do that. But are there some things that I could clear up for you right now? Because I know that you're going to pay for this attorney, and I don't necessarily know if it is necessary. Here, let's. What exactly do you feel like you need to clear up with the attorney that I may be able to clear up for you right now?
Right now, right.
You see
Yeah.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Did you see the it's not confrontational.
Right.
It's acknowledging him for having his concerns, right? It's still
Right.
going to be tied in with the relationship, but you're not making him wrong in any way.
Any way at
He's
all.
absolutely right.
Right.
Yeah, Neil.
Yeah, I just wanted to add, well, first of all, I came in the middle, so I apologize.
Okay, so you can't say anything. No, just kidding. Just kidding. Go ahead.
Yeah, thanks. I'd what I wanted to say is, like, you really know your stuff, Harvard, but I think that you're making it sound really technical. In fact, Jimmy at one
Yeah.
point literally said that. And I was like,
Yeah.
I'm glad he did. And so, I mean, I really love Victor's advice, but I think that if we were to step back, maybe being less technical might not have brought him to
Make it simple.
Make it simple.
yeah, to
Make
wanting
it
to
simple.
see his attorney. So,
Yeah.
well, yeah, he might not have had that thought.
That thought. Right. Right. Simplify it to a point where just satisfy his needs, his interests right now, and his needs is I want to take and protect my daughter's interest in her car note, right? Her car loan. And simplifying that, saying, okay, well, I suggest is that we liquidate your TSP, right? And then we increase the annual premiums to facilitate the loan, the car loan. something simplified to that degree.
So
But the jargon.
Let me jump in here as well. Okay, so say that again, what you just said, and then I'm gonna restate it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh? Jimmy, what'd you say?
Nah, go ahead. I'm listening to Victor. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna just repeat the strategy. Okay, we're gonna liquidate your TSP, increase the premiums to 25,000 annual for the first 4 years, and within the first 30 days, we're going to clear the car loan and bring it into the policy.
Okay. All right. So Jimmy, this is what we're going to do. Okay. You have a chunk of money in here. We're going to take that whole amount of money, right? And we're going to put it into a whole nother pot. Out of that, in the first 30 days, we're going to pay off your daughter's car. Okay, so we're going to have that completely. Now, unfortunately, it's going to increase the premium a little bit to accomplish what it is that you want to have accomplished. The premium increase is going to be about this much. Are you okay with that? Are you comfortable with that? Okay, good.
Yes, I'm okay with that.
All right, cool. So if you're okay with that, what it accomplishes is now we have your daughter's car paid off. Okay, 100% of your TSP is now available for you through this process that we're doing. Now you're able to move on to this next phase of your life that you're looking at, which is real estate investing. How does that sound to you, Jimmy?
That sounds amazing. I appreciate you for making it so understanding as possible for me. Thank you, man. So you're saying I'm taking the money out of here and then use that money to actually fund whatever I need.
Yeah, and you pay and we paying off the car.
And we paying off the car.
That sounds great. Thank you for giving me that breakdown.
Yeah, absolutely. So you do you see that, Harvard?
No, I completely see it. I completely see it. No doubt about it. Simple words, direct to the point. I literally went into the actual strategy, which is something that I would be doing behind the scenes.
Right. Yeah. He doesn't need to know what you're doing. Right. He doesn't need to. He hasn't been to insurance school.
No, it gets to a point to whereas when it comes to these particular policies, you got to be like Picasso. Right. So you really got to paint a picture, but for this particular,
but you can't speak to him like an underwriter.
Exactly, and then for this conversation, it's stick figures. I need to just draw the basic stick figures.
Yeah, we're going to put in a pot. We're going to take a chunk of it. We're going to pay off the car, so now the car has no note.
Now you got some extra money, so you can do what you have to do. How would you feel about that?
It is going to cause the premium to go up a little bit by such and such per month. Are you comfortable with that, assuming that everything else gets handled the way you want it to when you get this access?
Yeah. Right? No doubt about it. No, I completely. I got notes. I got notes. No, and I got my 3-minute timer too. That was 6 minutes. All right, so.
Yeah, that was.
That's right. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, but I was doing some other stuff in between.
No, it's all good. It's all good.
All right, I'm gonna go back on mute, man. But try to stay on that simplistic thing. Don't just keep in your mind. You can't be processor to him. You can't be underwriter to him.
Perfect. Yeah.
You got to be that guy who's solving his problem.
Right.
Yeah. My problem. Yeah. That's true.
That's all you're focused on.
Yeah, you was confused. I'm like, what is this?
Yeah.
Let me speak to my attorney and don't even want to talk about it no more because it's confusing.
I gotta talk to my lawyer, man.
He want to talk to his lawyer now because he doesn't understand the words.
Right. Yeah.
He does. That's why he wants to talk to his lawyer because he doesn't understand what the heck you just told him about. This and that and
supplement this and that.
No, that's perfect. No, I got you. Trust. I got it. I got it wrote down. I got the notes. I appreciate that.
All right, but now you want to back up a step and kind of want to redeliver a little bit and kind of make the picture a little clearer for him.
Definitely.
Okay, good. I'm gonna mute myself. You guys got it. Back on role play.
Definitely. Okay. Yeah. Just to reiterate, Jimmy, you mentioned to me that you want to basically take over your daughter's car loan, and the best way to do it, you're suggesting that I give you some advice on that. Is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. Well, step one, we're going to liquidate your TSP. We're going to increase the annual premium on the on your policy, which will within the first 30 days clear your daughter's car loan and officially have her free and clear and car paid off. How does that sound?
All right, the TSP is the money that's actually that you guys gonna be able to take out, correct?
Yeah, well, yeah, you're an Air Force veteran, so TSP is your 401k.
You kind of went back into
you just say the money.
Just say the money. Just say the money.
Use the whole thing, right?
The money. Oh well, keep in mind
we're gonna liquidate. We're gonna do all of that.
Okay.
You know, he may get it, but you don't have to assume that he can get it. You can simply say, look, we're gonna take all the money, 100% of the money. Everybody knows what 100% of the money is. Right?
That's it.
We're going to take 100% of the money.
We're going to take 100% of the money
and increase your premiums
and
facilitate that.
No, you're going to take something. You're going to take something. So we're going to give you something back. What are we going to give you back? We're going to pay off your daughter's car.
Right.
So after I took it, now I'm telling you why I'm giving you something back. So I'm taking. We're going to take all the money out. Right. And we're going to pay your daughter's car off, which is going to consume and eliminate that debt for her. So now she doesn't have that on her plate anymore. We good so far? You see what I'm saying? I'm painting this picture in his mind now about what is going to be the result of what we're doing.
Right.
I don't care how technical it is. What are going to be the results of what I'm doing?
Right. And Jimmy said don't say premium. So what wording would y'all suggest? What verbiage outside of
you can premium? Just say, your monthly payment is going to go up a little bit. It's a monthly payment.
Okay.
Right. Everybody knows what a monthly payment is. He already knows there's a monthly payment.
Your annual payment. Okay.
Or an annual payment, whatever the payment is, right? You can break it down per month and say it's going to increase your annual payment by about 10,000, which is going to be, 800 a month or 600 a month or whatever, right? You can break it down for him like that, but he needs to, you want to move it back, down, dumb it down again to just go back to. And don't try to impress him with your level of knowledge of the game. Impress him with your connection to him.
Gotcha. All right, but me saying, because the actual scenario is speaking to another Air Force veteran that they understand what a TSP is. They brought it to me, so it's not like I'm talking to someone who doesn't know what we're doing in the sense of the thrift savings plan. So I completely get where y'all saying simplified, but it's not jargon, it's military terms because I'm speaking to a military member. But adding to that, not saying premium and just basically saying annual payment, that's another easily digested terms, words
for anybody.
Anybody. Right.
And if you get used to doing it, now when you talk to the lady down the street who is a widow or has the benefits but is not a veteran who
right.
But I'm assuming you speak to some of those.
Yes.
They want the military person, but they now have access and control of the situation. So if you get used to speaking in those terms, then you don't ever have to retract.
True.
You're always on simple mode. And you're not trying to impress each other with your military backgrounds, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna impress him with the solution to his problem.
Solutions, strictly just solutions.
That's how you're gonna impress him the most.
That's right.
Solve his problem.
Yes.
And he gonna love you and he gonna be good with you.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
Yeah.
No doubt about it. Jimmy, do you love me?
All day, every day.
We can move on though. Somebody else could get in on this role playing, but I got some amazing notes. You're on mute.
No, you ain't off the hook. I want to hear you. I want to hear you lock this down.
Okay. No, I got you. I got you. No, I got it. Let's do it then. Okay. So just to recap, Jimmy. Just to recap, we want the end-game goal and your sole purpose is to clear your daughter's car loan, okay? And we've solved that issue by liquidating all the money, and in doing so, you agreed that it's going to increase your annual payment, okay? Does that sound good so far?
Yes.
Okay, and just to clear that up, your daughter's car loan is officially cleared, and you're going to have an additional $15,000 to invest in real estate. How does that sound?
That sounds good.
Okay, okay. So what I'll do is I'll send over the illustration to you. The moment you read over it, sign it, and get it back to me before 4 o'clock today, it sounds to me that we have a deal. How does that sound?
That sounds good. I look over it. If everything makes sense of what we just spoke about, I don't see us actually having a problem moving forward.
Excuse me.
You hear me?
Hello. Can you
Hello?
say that? Can you say that again?
I say everything sounds great. Once you send me over the documents, I look over, and if it actually discuss the same thing that we spoke about, then I don't see we have a problem moving
Okay,
forward.
yeah, that sounds great to me, and I know that you're a man of your word, and this means something that's near and dear to you to be able to assist your daughter and on her growth. So I appreciate you, and be expecting that email shortly, and I'll be following up with you at 4 o'clock.
Okay, then that sounds
Roger
great.
that.
You got that part
My,
down.
my man. My man. Yeah. See, yeah, you switched out of and you started to just care about the individual. And if there's anything that I could stress to you is that I can obviously tell what kind of personality you are. You care, you're concerned, you do this because you want to bring value to the people with whom you do business. You want to present yourself in a particular fashion in terms of who you are in the marketplace.
Yes.
So always operate from that. Always operate from caring.
Caring and providing a service.
And making sure that it's understood in a simplistic as a fashion as you possibly can.
Yes.
Right? Like in any situation, stay away from the jargon. Nobody is really impressed with the jargon, even if they are on your same level in terms of knowledge. The only time it makes sense is when you're in the training room.
Yeah, around others, but
around others
in the field, just simplify.
In the field,
Easy digest.
just be Harvard. Just be a caring, individual who's coming to solve problems for his clients.
That's right.
And if you stay there, you're going to be cool.
Yeah. No,
you're gonna be cool. Yeah. And like I said, just keep it dumbed down, keep it simple, if you want to use words like liquidate, now you're causing them to think. If you say we're going to take 100% of the money,
everybody know what that is.
Everybody knows what 100% of the money is, right? But I don't have to compartmentalize, and I'm now over here trying to figure out what liquidate. And all of the components that go with liquidate.
With liquidate, right? As a definition, right?
As a definition, right? So now I'm figuring stuff out. You can't have me. You can't have me in the next room while you're talking.
Right.
You really can't have me in the next room if you put me there.
You put me over there. Like we keep it simple.
Does that make sense?
No, it's 100%. No, I'm grateful. I'm here.
All right, right on. Well, thanks for sharing that, man. That was amazing. I think we all got a lot out of that in terms of any conversation where we are connecting with our and you guys, as long as I do this, I always know when a deal is not going someplace for me because of the connection. And I think Jimmy, Neil, anybody who does this continuously will attest to that. When you can't get the connection, it's a wrap.
The connection is extremely important.
It's a wrap, and I don't just mean we're friends and we cool like that. I mean the connection of he understands that you understand his problem, his or her problem, and you have a solution for it. Once that's clear, the rest is easy. And then you can hang up the phone and you can go back into underwriting. And underwriting for all of us is, deal structure and everything else to make sure that everything that we can deliver exactly what we said.
Yeah.
Right. That's underwriting for a real estate person, but for you, it's a little bit different, right? Where you have to feel, but we all have an underwriting department in our business.
Yes. Yep.
That makes sense. But we don't talk to them about our underwriting department. Thanks, Jimmy. Yeah, we don't. We don't
Yeah,
talk to him.
you know, also,
Go ahead, Jimmy.
Victor, also with Howard, Harvard, sometimes you can just sit there and mirror the person, listen to the way they speak, and if they sound like they, they like to use all those jargon words that you actually say when you speak to somebody, that's when you could go ahead and say the words that they can actually understand. But if you realize when you're speaking to them, they don't understand it, then you just dumb it down to make things more simple for you.
Yeah, gotcha.
That's rich. That's rich. Yeah, that's mirroring your audience right there. And Jimmy's on point as usual with that analysis. Because if you're, like you said, you might be talking to this Air Force guy.
Yeah, he understand. If he understand, you go ahead and now you guys go ahead and speak the same language. But if you're speaking to a regular mom and pop that own a property for 40, 50 years and don't know nothing you're talking about, you automatically got to dumb it down.
Yeah, and it triggered when you said, "Yeah, I'm gonna go talk to my lawyer to make sure this is legal." And that right there was like, okay, well, let me just dumb it down for you and just enter in from a different angle, know, and instead of using the big words, it's like, let me just simplify it for you. We're solving your needs, and we're going to put some money in your pocket immediately. Right. So, period.
Everybody understands.
Everybody understands. Exactly.
That's it.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah. Everybody understand. Like you see on the role play that I did with Alex.
Yeah.
You see, it was the same thing, right? It was just connect with the guy and find out exactly what it is that can solve his problem. Because he's kind of thinking that he needs this or he wants that or he, whatever. But really, it really just comes back down to what do you need if all this was played out? And we came to a point at which he understood what that person's need. Now our job is just to structure it such that we deliver on that need. Everything else is smooth. And when you get to that, like Alex already has this relationship and he's that guy's dude.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But that's the thing that gets you to be that guy's dude, is understanding that you're trying to solve that problem. And that you're committed to his problem.
I already told you I want to take care of my daughter to make sure her payments are actually still being made in case something happened. Now you just got to focus. Okay, I got a problem. See how you can get that thing fixed. That's
it.
Why don't we just pay it off completely?
Yeah.
Yes, with the money that we actually pull out, and then we go
from there. Now she doesn't have any car payments.
Right.
He's
Let's
excited.
do it. Send me over the paperwork. Let me look over it.
Yeah. Now you got him. You just solved his daughter's problem. That's more important than solving his. In his mind.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's where his passion is. That's what he wants. He wants to do that.
That's right. That's right. So what we're talking about, folks. Alex, did you want to say something?
No, man. I was just saying, boom. Harvard, you went from kind of making it kind of complicated, and it got much better after the third role play, man. So
yeah.
Cheers. That's all I wanted to say. I mean, it wasn't really
right on. Appreciate your input, my friend. All right, you guys. Hey, man, I'm loving today, man. You guys are killing it right now. Anybody want to jump in and do any role play? Neil, you got something for us? I know you always thinking. I see your mind. I see it from here.
No, I don't have anything in particular today.
Okay. All right. So I will tell you guys a story that I think might help you guys when you're out there in the marketplace. So I messed around and let a guy, I was doing a lease option, we were liquidating. Did you hear me, Harvard? We were liquidating.
Okay.
I'm messing with you. So we were selling a lease option, and I got a guy on the phone, and the guy was, saying that he had everything that we needed and that he could qualify this and everything, right? And I'll be honest with you, I got a little greedy. He was talking some numbers that I knew I could extract a little bit more out of this deal than I anticipated, right? I'm gonna tell you guys the story as a warning. So then all of a sudden, the guy, he wants to get his realtor because his realtor handles all his business, right? So this realtor ends up injecting herself. And of course, the first thing she wants to say is, I usually get paid such and such. I don't pay realtors. I didn't invite you into this conversation.
No.
Any compensation that you receive will come from the person who hired you as a consultant. So let's get that cleared up. And so when someone introduces a realtor or somebody else into your deal, an attorney or anything else, clear up immediately who's going to pay that attorney. Okay, that is not, you didn't hire that person, you didn't bring that person in, right? But I made that clear. Okay, to make this long story longer, this person started getting involved, and all of a sudden she's choosing when to return my calls and when to return my texts, and when the texts had any kind of flavor that were in her, to her advantage or to her benefit, she would return the text immediately. Anything else, I could wait a day and a half. I ended up taking almost 30 days to close a deal that I should have closed in 5. Okay, and this lady cost me all this stuff, and believe me, I smoked her on all of her reviews because she was trash in terms of how she handled. And I say smoked her in her reviews because here's how I think about that. If somebody's out there doing crappy business and undermining deals and not being a professional, by you pointing it out, you're probably saving us trouble. Because if we go in there and if anybody else goes in and tries to do business with her and they read your review, they'll have a sense of who they are. And you probably are saving another investor or another homeowner or somebody from dealing with this, crappy agent, right? So if anybody comes in there, first of all, if they're not invited, you don't pay them, period. Bottom line is, and she ended up holding us up for like 25 days on a deal that should have been done in 5 days. The good news is we actually closed that deal today, and we got deposits in banks and everything today. So the deal got done after I dismissed her. Oh no, let me tell you how she dismissed herself. And I believe what she did is she went and found another property for her client. And after we had all the paperwork and we're actually waiting for her wire, she sends me a text and says, I don't have a live signature. We're not going to do this deal, and stop returning my calls and texts. So I know what she did is she found another deal, and she basically took her client over to the other deal and took him out of mind and basically disappeared and started ghosting me.
Oh, wow.
The moral of the story is guard your gates. Guard your gates. Don't let anybody else, involve themselves in your situation. When people start saying they need to do this, they need to do that, you want to try to cut that noise immediately. What is it that you are not clear about? What questions do you have that you need clarity on? Because I would hate to see you go out and spend what you're going to spend when we're right now talking about saving you money or putting money in your pocket. And I'm pretty sure that the things that you're going to ask, I can clear up for you right now.
That's right. Yep.
Clear the table, right? So, did somebody have a comment? I heard somebody jumping in here.
Well, I said it was fantastic, but so she found another deal, but did that guy come back? Why? How did it close?
No, I closed it with another guy in 3 days. Yeah, it should have closed in 3 days. Instead, this realtor, kept us on the line and just kept dragging everything out and playing games and doing everything else, right? And the truth of the matter is okay, the potential for my profit was greater had that deal closed. And quite frankly, I got a little greedy. Lesson learned, never to happen again. Know your numbers going in, know what you want to profit from it, set your price, stick to it, close your deal. Because if you start letting that you know, the water rise and fall on your deal because somebody's coming in with this much money and this it will screw you over. You know what I'm saying? Know your numbers, close your deals, get them done quickly, and on to the next one, and just make your money. So that's my rant for the day.
No, that's a great experience. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thanks for the heads up. How everybody doing?
Peace.
Who's that, Rashid?
Yeah, it's Rashid, man. How you feel?
Rashid.
Doing good, man. Doing good. What can we
Man,
do? Welcome to the role play.
Thank you, man. I've been calling all these title companies, man. They treat me like I'm an alien. You know, the receptionist had me, okay, yeah, I'm gonna transfer you, and I get voicemail. You know, they had me leave a voicemail, and they never call me back. It's, you know, it's like there's some haterism.
Are you calling title companies because that's who closes in your state?
Yeah.
Okay, what state are you in?
I'm in California, and they you know, even the real estate agents, they act like, you know, they don't know what I'm talking about. It's you know, and I just, you know, because I'm ready to rock and roll. But like one of the guys I follow on YouTube, he say, if you got a deal and if you got a title company that's on retarded, they'll just blow your deal out the back door. And it sounds like you kind of experienced that with a real estate agent. And it seemed like when I'm experiencing, it's like some haterism on investors on what we do, you know.
Okay.
And I'm a little frustrated, but I'm not going to give up though.
Okay, so let me jump in here with you a little bit, and maybe I can also turn you on to some people. As you know, I'm in California as well, and that's Los Angeles in the background.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm in California as well, and I deal with real with title companies. I have a number of title company relationships, and I have escrow company relationships.
Yes, it is.
Okay?
Hi, Jerry.
So I was wondering why you were dealing with title companies directly. What do you want from them?
Well, I'm trying to find out, do they, you know, provide service for assigned contracts and you know,
okay, so just so you know, the title company's role, the roles that you're talking about have more to do with the escrow company than the title company. Okay.
Okay. Oh yeah, and I did call some escrow companies, and yeah, I got a few of them that they treated me like, you know, like I was a ghost. And then one, she said, I think it was Green Escrow, I don't know, in San Ramon. She was saying about some there's double fees. So what are you aware any double fees with the escrow companies?
Well, yeah, I mean, they're going to charge fees on both sides, is what they're saying. Yeah, they're going to charge fees to the buyer and to the seller.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's not uncommon. That's actually for you to negotiate in your negotiations.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's not uncommon. So you know, when you can let the buyer know that due to the large discount, you know, that they're going to be responsible for all the closing costs, because based on your contract, that's typically how you're going to get the deal many times, is by promising to pay all the closing costs.
Okay.
So those closing costs are either they're going to be shared between the buyer and maybe you. So you need to build that into your numbers if you are, you know, once you start looking and see what you're going to extract as a fee.
Okay. Now the seller, do they take care of that fee on their end, right?
The seller?
Yeah.
Well, typically you're going to promise the seller that you're going to pay the closing costs.
Okay.
Right.
And
that's part of what gets your sale closed, is because you say, look, I can get you this, and I'll do I'll pay all the closing costs. As soon as you say you pay all the closing costs, the seller is, you know, now you got their attention, because they know the closing costs could be a couple $1,000s.
Okay.
So when you do your analysis, when you look and see how much am I going to pay for this property,
right.
When you do your analysis sheet, you have to include those costs.
Right.
And if all those costs are included correctly and categorized as they should be, And all you need now is to find an escrow company. And I haven't had any real issues with escrow companies. And like, if you have a deal or something that you need an escrow company for, you know, feel free to reach out to me. See me on Facebook. You can, you know, do whatever to get in touch with me, right?
Okay.
Yeah, but the title company is not your enemy per se, right? What they don't like to do is they don't like to write two policies that are going to exchange immediately, right?
Okay.
So
go to escrow.
Yeah, go to escrow and ask escrow, do you work with a title company that's investor friendly?
Okay.
Because they're going to be doing the title, not you.
Right. Okay.
Okay. Here's what you need a title company for in California. You want to find a title rep who is going to give you access to their system. Like, most title companies have a system in California for sure that will allow you to go in and find information on any property, pretty much if the title company is big enough nationwide, and they give you that access for free. Right? I'm like, one of the companies I use two companies primarily, Stewart Title and Chicago Title.
Okay.
Okay. Now, both of those reps have put me on with systems that I can go in and I can pull a property profile. A lot of the things that you can do, for instance, that you guys are doing right now on PropStream, I do all that for free through my title company.
Okay.
I can get the records, I can get the comps, I can get everything. I can do it in less than a minute using their online system that they allow me to have access to for free.
Okay.
And you do that through Chicago Title?
Yeah, I do it through Chicago. I have Chicago Title and I have Stewart.
Okay.
Chicago Title.
Stewart is you probably went to Chicago as opposed to going to the title rep and building a relationship. See, for about 5 years, I was a title rep. Let me tell you what a title rep does and why you want a relationship with a title rep. A title rep's job is to go out and have companies choose them for the title report. So they will visit real estate offices and mortgage offices and try to build relationships such that this, you know, you're their title company of choice. Like, they're your title company of choice. That's their sole job. And they'll give you a bunch of free gifts, apps for your phone. Like, I have apps on my phone that the title company gave me where I can walk and talk and record information and I can pull farms. I can do all that for free directly through the title company. Now, this is in California, and I know that there's other states that do it, including, I believe, Arizona and Nevada.
Okay.
Maybe that's because you agent. You got an agent license.
Originally, I built a relationship out of being an agent. Yeah, and you may have to actually, that's a good point, Edward. Thanks for bringing that up. Yeah, I am an agent. And when I met them, they came into my office. I owned a mortgage company during, you know, when the market collapsed. I was actually in the mortgage business. So they would come into the office. And so I know a lot of title reps. I was a title rep myself, so I know their job. So when I talk to them, we can basically talk the same language. And so what I'm trying to pass on to you now is what their role is and how they can assist you in your real estate investing. They can give you a lot of free information, a lot of information that you're paying for now, even on PropStream and some of the other research stuff. If you know a real estate agent, and you need to know a few real estate agents anyway, right, in your marketplace, because they can give you neighborhood information. They can tell you, you know, who's the nosy neighbor, how many people got shot in this neighborhood. Real estate agents are valuable for community information. So if you're in any community and you start seeing signs, just call them up and start to, you know, hobnob with them. You're not going to connect with most of them. I'll tell you that right now, because most of them are like, if I'm not making money off of you right now, we ain't talking.
Right.
But you understand, you get that. I mean, you get that. That's their business. That's what they do for a living, you know, and whatever. And, you know, real estate, I think when people get a real estate license, it changes their personality. They start using glamour shots instead of their real. No, I'm just kidding.
Oh, that's where that glamour shot for you came from?
Oh my God. You know, and you meet the real estate agent, they don't look nothing like the picture. No, I'm kidding, guys. But you know, it's true. So the reason I'm saying that is because you have to understand who you're dealing with. And then you have to adjust your presentation and, you know, how you're going to work with them according to who they are. You know, they have egos, they have, you know, whatever. And you just have to meet them where they are if you're going to expect to get your deal accomplished. Because I hear your frustration, Rashik, and you can't afford to be frustrated. You got to step back and you got to see, okay, how do they operate and how can I get in where I fit in?
Okay. All right.
You see what I'm saying? And
Yeah.
if I'm you, I'm now backing up and I'm looking at escrow companies. And you can just walk into an escrow company and say, look, you know, can I talk to an escrow person or whatever? They'll just let you talk. They'll just let you talk to them because they're always looking for business. This is one thing you have to understand too. They're all looking for business.
Okay. Okay.
They're all looking for business. If you can bring them business, you know, I knew one guy when I was in the title car. I'll tell you this story. This guy used to knock pre-foreclosures. The escrow company used to provide him with thousands and thousands of names on a monthly basis for free.
Okay.
Why? Because he would open all the title orders with them. A title company, what does a title company want? Title orders.
Okay.
Fill that need.
Okay.
What does an escrow company want? Escrow orders. They want open escrows. Fill that need. Right?
Right.
So operate from that point of view. Look, how can I get in here and give you what you want and or need?
That sounds like a winner. Thanks.
You know, look, I put together solid deals. You know, I make sure my numbers are right. You know, I follow up. I'm professional in my presentation. I don't go off or get angry when things go bad. I'm patient. You know, and you sell those qualities, and they'll want to work with you. They'll help you.
Thanks. I appreciate that.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right, guys. I think we're in the role play session, but I think we've kind of turned it into and I'm loving it. I'm loving it. You guys are awesome, man. You cool with that, Josh? We can't hear you. Unmute yourself so you can share, buddy.
I really appreciate all this information. Like I said, this is something new, and all these scenarios, either I'm gonna get confronted by them or I will. So I really appreciate all the information. It really helps.
Yeah, for sure, man. Thanks for being here, buddy.
I'll be joining a lot more often.
All right, cool. Good to have you. Yeah, we'll get you in on some of these role plays and stuff. Hey, Myra. Unmute yourself.
How's it going?
Not bad. How are you, dear?
I'm doing good.
Good.
You're still at work.
You want to role play with me? Oh, you can't role play while you're there, huh? Oh, okay. You just listening in?
But I wanted to listen in, yeah.
Okay, cool. All right. I'm not gonna put you on the spot, man. I'm gonna wait until you get home. We appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
All right. Anybody want to role play? Come on, you guys.
I do.
Who's I?
Jerry.
Hey, Jerry. There you go. I find you now. Jerry, you got a scenario that you encountered or something that you'd like to?
No.
Okay. Do you want to be the buyer or the seller?
Correct. Seller.
Okay. And does anybody want to play the buyer role? I'll play with you if who's that, Mag?
Yeah.
How about Rashid?
Huh?
How about Rashid?
Oh, Rashid.
Yeah, I play the buyer. I mean,
okay.
Yeah, let somebody be the buyer that ain't did it before. I want to hear some different scenarios.
Oh, stop, Ed. You know, Ed. All right, Ed. We gonna accommodate you, brother.
Right.
Okay. All right. So you're going to be the buyer, Rashid, or the seller?
I can be the buyer.
Seller.
I'll be the buyer.
I'm sorry, Jerry. What did you say?
Seller. I'm going to be the seller.
Okay, so you're going to be the buyer, Rashid.
And you know, the buyer is the best role play, be the buyer. Because that's what you're going to be mainly anyway.
Anyway, right?
That's right.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right. All right. So you guys want me to set up a scenario, or do you want me to just you guys want to do it as you go?
I can do it like I'm doing a follow-up call,
Okay. Do it that way, Rashid. You guys go ahead and get started when you
what's the gentleman's name again?
It's Jerry.
Jerry. Okay. All right. Might I speak to Jerry?
Speaking.
Hey, how's it going, Jerry? My name is Rashid. I'm from Elevating Investments, and I was reaching out to you to see if you have a property that you'd be interested in selling for a cash buyer.
Yes, I do. I have a property listed on Zillow, in fact.
Okay. Tell me, how long you been in the property? If you don't mind me asking.
I've been in the property for 8 years.
Okay. And what made you decide to be, what motivated you to decide to sell the property, if you don't mind me asking?
Well, the kids are getting larger, and we actually were looking for more space.
Okay. All right. So let me ask you a few questions regarding the property. What type of work have you had done in the last 2 years, like roofing, plumbing, your updates on the windows?
Windows are good. The roofing is good. The roof is about approximately 3 years old. The plumbing is excellent. The only problem, it might need carpeted and painting.
Okay, so minor stuff, nothing major.
Yes.
Okay,
I would say you're probably looking at $7,000.
Not bad. Okay. And I noticed you have your property on the market for like maybe 4 months, and you're asking 300,000 for it.
Yes.
Okay. So if needed, what would be the least that you're willing to accept as far as a cash offer for the property? I mean, if needed.
I mean, I don't know. You call me. What would you offer?
I would let's say 285 sounds. That's something that would work for you?
I don't think 285 would work for me. I was thinking maybe 290.
290? Okay, we can work with that. Yeah, me and my team most definitely can work with that. So that's something that would work for you, and most definitely would work with us. And so, would you, from this point on, would you be interested in signing a contract, and we can get things rolling for you?
I don't know. This is all cash offer.
Rashid, I accidentally muted you. Unmute yourself. Okay, let me jump in here just a little bit, Rashid. Because at this point right now, you want to just sort of start to do your recap, okay? Because you went through everything else, and you went through everything pretty good, right? But then you're asking him for almost for his permission, right? You don't want to get in a position where you're asking him for his permission per se. You want to be you're the professional. You want to close this on a solution-based closing.
Okay, all right.
You understand what I'm saying? Okay,
Yeah.
so if I understand you correctly, if we could put this in your pocket, or if we can close this such and such, and so I'll put up the structure that we want. Okay, so you want to make sure that you understand his timing. How soon does he need to get this done?
Hey, Victor, your view is not wide enough to see it all. You only seeing part of it.
Only seeing part of it? All right,
Yeah, I don't know if I saw part of it.
okay, let me see if I can redo it. Thanks, Ed.
Mhm.
Better?
Yeah, that's better.
Okay,
Yeah.
thank you very much, guys. I appreciate that. Thanks, Ed. Okay, so right now, you want to make sure that in these qualification questions, you don't want to just skirt this part of this conversation, like assume that everything is good because you kind of have a little bit of agreement right now.
Right. Okay.
Okay, and you don't say, and I'm like, I don't say if I do this, type of thing. I am going to do this, and when I do, can I to do your part, right? So I'm going to put this all in writing, exactly what we talked about, and I'm going to get it over to you. Do you understand the difference? You understand the command now that you sort of have of this situation. You're now the professional.
Okay.
You're not waffling, you're not going back and forth. And I find that you have to create this sense of confidence so that when they get off the phone, in their mind, they're thinking this dude knows what he's doing. Or this lady knows what she's doing.
Okay.
Like, it may not sound really important, but I think that a lot of times, and we've had this conversation in the group where you get ghosted after the fact.
Okay.
The only time you really truly get ghosted is if you haven't solved the problem and there's a confidence issue.
Okay. All right.
Right?
Yeah,
that's that. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
I just took a screenshot of it, so I got it.
Perfect. Yeah, you want this because I actually keep this up when I'm on the phone, especially when I'm doing phone calls in a row, because I'll start to slip things out if I don't. I'll start to sort of get in conversation mode, and I'll start to like, okay, well, let's but every aspect of this has its own value.
Okay.
And the value comes mostly in cementing this in their brain.
Copy that.
Right. Okay. So going back to the role play, when go back into some recap the money. Okay. So right now you're at the closing because he's agreed with you. So make sure you do a strong recap on the money, the timing, and his commitment towards getting this done. A strong recap.
Okay. All right. One more time to my role player's name again.
Jerry.
So Jerry, I want to take the time to recap for everything that we discussed. So you're okay with 290, and how soon are you like to have this transaction done and completed? What time frame are we looking at?
Next 30 days.
Okay, next 30 days. Okay.
And the reason I say 30 days, that would give me time to get things in order to relocate.
Okay. Okay. That sounds fair. And so what I'm going to do is write out the contract, everything we discussed, and what you're looking for, and I'll send a contract right over to you, and we get the ball rolling for you, so we can get that upgrade for you and the family. That sound like a winner for you, Jerry?
I have a few questions.
Sure, shoot, go ahead. By all means, I'm open for questions.
Could you send me a proof of funds letter?
I most definitely can do that.
Okay.
Yeah,
and you're going to send the contract when?
I can send it within the next hour. That'll work for you. We'll get with my team and we pull everything up, put it all together, everything that we discussed here, and I'll get it over to you, the contract to you via email. That's something that works for you.
Okay, great.
Okay.
Yes, it will. And once I receive that, I would like to send it over and have my attorney take a look at it. And if he says it's a go, then we have a deal.
All right. No worries. That sounds like a winner, Jerry. And I'll get that over to you in an hour.
Okay. So let me jump in here.
I was just going to ask you, Victor.
Yeah,
Go
that's
ahead.
not okay. That is not okay. We don't want this.
I'm a rookie, so
yeah,
I'm a rookie too.
We're all rookies.
That's why I wanted to play with you, because we're both rookies.
Yeah. And so I'm here to try to see if we can't, it's a learning process. And so nothing is personal. Nothing is, trying to put anybody down or anything like that. And I hope I'm not coming across like that.
No.
Okay, cool.
I got rhino skin.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Plus, the game we're in, if you don't, you might need to find another game.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I got 21 years in the security industry, and trust me, if you don't have thick skin,
Right. Okay. So he was talking about inviting somebody else into the conversation. And remember, I just painted that picture about how you want to clear your table.
Okay.
You don't want this guy in this conversation if you could possibly help it. This goes for everybody you do not want any other parties in here outside who is not on title. The only other person who you really want in this conversation is on title, which might probably going to be the wife or another family member or a business partner.
Okay.
Attorneys getting into the conversation, every time that has come up like an issue for me, except maybe once or twice, it's killed the deal. Because what it really is an excuse not to do the deal. Because now the attorney has been invited in, and you don't even know if they talk to an attorney. But now they have a reason to dismiss the deal because the attorney said so.
Okay. So
it doesn't have to be true.
Okay. So how would we? Oh, go ahead.
The only third party would be the person that's on the title.
That's right. That's right. And see, you didn't clear that up with them at this point. That's another thing, and next time what I'm going to do is I'm going to put together a list of some of the things that you absolutely want to get cleared up, and I'll put it up, so that you can have some specific questions that you want to get cleared up just to smooth the road to closing.
Okay.
So you want to find out, are you the decision maker? Are you the only person who's on title on the property? Two different questions. They're actually two different questions because, like, for instance, if he is the dominant figure in the home and he could just make this decision, the wife is going to just deal with it, and some homes are like that, then he's the only decision maker, but he's not the only one on title.
Okay.
Right? So you just want to clear that up in your mind so that you know exactly when you get ready to go to closing that this person is going to be able to execute.
Okay. All right.
Okay, so write that down as a question that you want to know. Who's on title and who's the decision maker? Okay, so when he starts to introduce the attorney, well, let me ask you, Jerry. You say you need to introduce the attorney. What is it about what we talked about that you don't understand? Is it just a matter of making? And we're back on the role plays, me and you, Jerry. So, is there something that you're not clear about in terms of this that you think you would be clearer with by speaking to your attorney, or is it just a matter of making sure the contracts are legal?
I just want to make sure the contracts are legal. And I just
I can appreciate that, Jerry, and thank you so much for sharing that with me, because that's often a concern of people that do this. But let me just tell you a little bit. I've been doing this for years and years, and I've been, dealing with these contracts for that same period of time. We're going to go through a process called the closing, you and I. And in that closing, they will let us know if there are any issues to do with the contract at all, whether or not they can use them, whether or not they don't like the wording, all of that, because it's going to have a title attached to it. You understand what title is, yes?
Right. So we're
Okay,
going to be
you are-
closing at a title company?
Well, every transaction has to have a title attached to it, because understand that we're going to be switching from your name to you remember when you bought the property?
Yes.
You remember all the process where you went in, where they switched you over
Yes.
from their name to that's a title process. So you understand that that title company is going to insure this, right? They're going to ensure that that title is clean.
Yes.
How do they do that? I'll tell you.
Research.
With attorneys. So there's no need
Okay.
for you to go out and go pay for an attorney to look over your documents, because it won't close if the documents aren't legal. And there's nothing in there really that I can't explain to you. So here's what I'd like to do. I'll send you over the documents right now. You take a look at the documents, and if there's any portion of the documents that you don't understand, why don't you and I talk about it? And then if you're not satisfied, then we can introduce the attorney into it. But I want to save you some money, and I want to try to make sure that we close within 30 days. And oftentimes I find that when attorneys are involved, sometimes it can muddy up the waters a little bit. And I don't mean that because they're doing anything unscrupulous, but understand that they're in it for a profit as well, and you're going to pay by the hour.
Yes, and I really want to get this house sold.
Yeah, and I hate to say, but a lot of that profit could be gone to that attorney.
Hey, Victor, and what I realize a lot of times when you go to attorneys, they always gonna find something that need to be changed so they can make money.
They're in it for the money.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right.
That was beautiful. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
Very educational.
Yeah, get them out of there. Get the attorney, get that table cleared up of all of these ancillary, money grabbers that are going to try to get in between this. And let them look. The title company is going to look over these agreements. If there is a problem, they have attorneys on staff.
Just scan through the contract.
They are not going to sign on that deal if they think there's something shady, and they will come back to you and let you know what needs to be changed.
Okay.
So I don't suggest you spend any money on that, Mr. Seller. You're protected in this. That's why we use a third-party closing company that will protect you. Does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay, great. So here's what we're going to do. I understand you want to do this in 30 days, so timing is of the essence, because you know how it is in every deal, right? Murphy's Law, whatever can will. So we want to make sure that we hammer through all of the obstacles, right? So we have a 30-day, we have your commitment to get this done, right? You're committed as I am. Is that correct?
Yes, I am.
Okay, great. And as far as the money's concerned, I don't remember the entire makeup, but assuming, okay, so we agreed to the price of such and such, and we agreed that you would walk away with X number of dollars in your pocket, and that this deal would serve your purposes and get you what you need in the time that you need it. Is that correct?
Yes, and you was going to send me a proof of funds letters to make sure.
Absolutely.
I want to make sure that you're going to be able to close.
That I'm going to be able to perform.
Yes.
Absolutely. I don't have a problem with that. I'll get that. I'll along with all the agreements, I'll send you over my proof of funds. And just so you guys know,
you would have a problem with the proof of funds?
Proof of funds are easy to get.
Yeah, I understand that. I'm saying, but what would you say if somebody said they needed to have a proof of fund?
I don't have a problem with it if they actually need a proof of fund. But let's say that I did have a problem with it. Let's role play that. Okay, so let me ask you, the proof of funds letter. I kind of want to know what your motivation is there, because you know that this is an investor transaction, right? And you know that I'm using monies that I have or my partners have. So a traditional proof of funds letter is a little bit different than what do you understand what a proof of funds letter is?
Yes.
Okay. So tell me.
My concern is that I had a friend who was selling the property with an investor.
Got it.
And he went to the closing, and the investor could not close. Okay, because
Was the
the
investor
funds
buying the
wasn't in
property?
order.
Was the investor buying the property himself?
Yes.
Okay, so that's a little bit of a different scenario. If the investor, if I was buying it myself, I would probably either just send you over a bank statement showing a balance or, you know, something like that. But we're investors, and we basically shop for a very highly qualified group of people who will cut a check. Okay.
Okay, great.
So
Yes.
yeah, so I could send you a proof of funds letter, but I don't necessarily think that it's necessary on the upfront because we're not committed to anything right now, and I don't know if it'll make a difference. It'll just give you a warm, cozy feeling. It's not going to guarantee you anything. Do you understand that? Because you know anybody can
Yes, I
print out a
do.
proof of funds letter off the internet, basically. So what I'm saying here is that we've been doing this for years and years. We have no reason to, you know, not do this deal. We love this deal. We think that this deal is profitable, and we think that everybody is going to win on this. So we have no reason to not do this deal. Now, if at some point,
let me ask you this: do you have a website I could go to see who you are and how you guys do business?
That's a great question. That's a great question. I've heard that before. Why did you particularly ask that? Did you have an experience or something that, you know, that turned you off, or is this just where's it coming from?
No, I haven't had an experience, but you get so many people calling you out of the blue. I've had tons of calls of people calling me about this property, and most of them are just wasting my time.
Okay, so
and I just want to be for sure who you say you are, and you're going to do what you say you're going to do.
Okay, so that's different than a website, and here's why I say that. Anybody can throw up a website and they can put any information they want to on a website. You understand that, right? You understand that probably half of the websites out there are filled with bogus information?
Yes.
So that's not really a target for us to do as far as that's concerned. Now, I can send you over my credentials and let you know who I am. And I have a couple of marketing sites out there that you can check out.
Okay.
But you know, we don't really use website. I mean, we're a small operation, and we kind of operate all over the country, right? A website is not something that is of value to us other than a billboard, and we don't necessarily use billboards. Does that make sense?
Okay. Yes, it does.
But I will send you over my credentials, and you can know who I am and know that I'm a real person and know where I'm located and all of that thing. Would that satisfy you?
Yes, it would.
Perfect. I'll get that over to you along with the documentation that describes everything that we talked about.
Okay, sounds great.
All right, great.
Let's do it.
I'm definitely looking forward to doing business with you, Jerry. I love the fact that you are on top of everything, that you ask great questions. And what I'd like to ask of you is continue to ask me questions rather than, you know, if you have something in your mind, let's talk about it, okay? And I'm always available to make sure that everything is handled until we get you exactly what you need, right?
Sounds good to me.
All right, I'll get these documents ready and get them over to you, and I'll follow up with you. How's 4 o'clock or would 5 o'clock be better?
4 o'clock would be better for me.
You know what, Jerry? One last thing, and I don't know what I was thinking about. I forgot to ask you this. Now I looked on the title, and it looks like you're the only one on title, right? That's correct.
Yes, it is.
Okay, but are you the only decision maker, or do you need to speak with your wife about this?
I am the only decision maker.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, so basically when I talk to you then at 4 o'clock, we can, and everything meets exactly what you and I talked about, and I just put it in writing for us, we'll be able to go ahead and sign on the dotted line and move this deal forward and get you closed in the next 30 days?
Yes, we can.
I'm sorry. I turned away for a second. What'd you say?
Yes, we can.
Oh, Awesome, awesome. Jerry, looking forward to doing business with you, my friend. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I will get this over to you within the next 60 minutes or so, and we'll reconvene at 4 o'clock.
Sound good. Thank you.
All right. Take care, Jerry.
Bye-bye.
All right.
That was beautiful. I like that. I like that.
Yeah.
Very
So
How did I
crafty,
do, Victor?
I'm sorry, Jerry.
Victor, how did I do?
You did
How
great.
did I do?
You did.
You did great, man.
You did awesome, man. You were fantastic. You sounded just like a homeowner who is concerned and a little bit afraid of getting screwed over by, you know, some shyster calling them on the phone and not being able to deliver. And you sounded just like that. And it's great for us to hear it, because that's what you're up against. Understand that when you call these people, you're up against a certain fear, no matter how they come off at you. They may come off, you know, with macho. They may come off as, you know, super intelligent and knowledgeable, and you're not going to get over on me or whatever. But they wouldn't even be in this conversation unless they had something they were trying to solve. Now, the only thing is, you know, what's their urgency? Well, maybe I'm gonna just put out some feelers and see if, you know what the market looks like out there. That's not your guy. That's where we get rid of his ass in 3 minutes. Look, you have no motivation. You're in no hurry. You're out here, you know, feeling around. I'm running a business. I'm here to close a deal today.
I think that's the key, Victor, is you got to feel like you helping them, not they helping you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like
Definitely.
Yeah.
I definitely agree with that.
One way, hey Victor, hey guys.
Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for joining us today.
Definitely. I've been doing some work in here, you guys going back and forth. I love it. One way that I've gone through that, and I've dealt with that, where the seller, maybe something happened before, where they got the property locked up and they didn't close. One of the things that I say, again, another role play that you can do as well. You know, okay, perfect. It sounds, Mr. Seller, that you might have had a bad experience, maybe you or maybe one of your friends, and it happens. Again, unfortunately, in life we can't predict the future. But it sounds like you're kind of hesitant on signing the contract, as you're thinking that I might not close, and it's understandable. What if I do this? What if after my buyer required inspection period, which is around 20 days, what if I put there that I can deposit a $10K non-refundable deposit after the 20-day inspection period? Is that something that will make you more confident in me being able to buy that property, or still you'll be hesitant in asking me for maybe like a proof of funds or a website? Where are we with that?
Okay, I like that. Now, here is the only concern, and you're speaking from somebody who, you know, has obviously been in the game a little longer and has resources or has access to resources. Understand what I said there, guys. It doesn't mean that he has to come out of pocket with 10K, but he is going to sell this and let the person that he's selling it to understand that 10K is going to be required, right? So it's not necessarily his money. He's using that to do the close, and it's not something that he cannot get done. He will just simply sell it in that fashion. You need to bring 10K to the table.
And one of the things about that, throwing that to the seller, you'll know if the seller's BSing you around and is not going to sign the contract, or if he's going to sign the contract.
Oh, that's rich. Acid test.
Because if he says, well, then he's just bullshitting with you.
Yeah,
I'm telling you, I'm putting 10K on the line to buy your property. Now you're asking me for a website. You're asking me for proof of funds. You want to talk to an attorney. It sounds like you don't really want to sell your property, and it's understandable. Again, I don't buy properties that sellers don't want to sell to me.
Right. Yeah. Is this over, Mr. Seller?
It sounds like it's over. Even if I tell you whatever that you want to hear, it sounds like you got to come up with another excuse. And it happens. Again, it happens. I don't buy every property. But are we going to go forward with this? Or like Victor said, is it over?
Yeah. Is it over? And you have to assume that stature. You have to assume the stature in this conversation that you're a professional that's done this 1,000 times, whether you have or not. But you have to present yourself with the stature of, I've done this many times. How do you do that? You do exactly what we're doing right now. You practice, you study, and you have your, you know, a level of game on, and you don't go out of your lane. Like I'm not going to start talking to you about triple net leases, because I don't know triple net leases to the level at which I could, you know, you could trip me up with one good question about triple net leases, right?
I don't know.
But what I do know, I know, because I study, right? And I practice and I learn. So know your game before you think that you're not going to be able to just bullshit everybody. Some people you're going to have to come correct.
Yeah.
You know, and that's just knowledge. It's just understanding, right? And then understanding also that you're in part of a network of resources. All of us are a resource.
And for all you,
go ahead,
all you guys that are thinking, well, where the hell am I gonna get a 10K? I told this guy I was gonna get 10K. Well, that's where the 20-day inspection period is. If at day 10, like me, I do some wholesales. At day 10, I don't find anybody. At day 15, I don't find anybody. Well, at day 18, I'm emailing the guy. After our inspection process, unfortunately, we would like to retract our purchase agreement. That's it. No 10K, no nothing. If he says, well, what happened? Oh, you know what? The price, it looked like it worked. After my guys went in there, I'm overpriced, so I'd rather cancel it and you go get another buyer. What am I doing that? I'm pushing the seller away. He already thought that it was sold. So now what's on my leverage side? I can renegotiate, because this guy already thinks I'm putting 10K down if it was a good deal. So now, well, can you do maybe 200K? Okay, maybe I'll consider that. Let me talk to my partner real quick. So you see, if the biggest issue for you guys, well, I don't have the money to put down. If your paperwork is right, you can cancel any contract as long as it's written, emailed, and delivered to the person, and you're not holding no bag. You don't have to put any deposit. And again, it's transactions. Again, not every investor that puts a house in the contract buys it. Things happen, inspections happen, house didn't sell on the resale for your side, so you didn't get your money back. Again, we're investors. But all you got to do is, like Victor says, you got to be strong and be confident, because a lot of sellers will push you around if you're allowed to be pushed around. And they can hear that in your voice. So that's why you got to you got to give good phone. Remember, guys, they don't see you when you're calling the phone. So your voice is your smile, your confidence, your money in your pocket, your cars. So again, all that confidence can be taught to be able to be put through a phone. So where the seller hears that, oh shit, this guy's a real deal. He called me on my bullshit. I asked him for a website. He's like, well, I don't have a website. I can buy houses. I don't have a website. Again, is that gonna break the deal? Oh, what's the proof of funds? Well, it sounds like you're just asking me excuses to cancel this contract. Like the guy yesterday, you're looking for a way out before we even go into contract.
Yeah.
And if that is, like, no matter what I tell you, you're still gonna say no to me. So I'd rather just retract my offer and you go sell your property. Oh, no. I do want to sell it. I just have a little questions. Perfect. Okay. Stop your bullshit. Let's move forward.
So I have a question on that, Ace. So with the $10,000, is that a down payment, or is that supposed to be your earnest money?
That's your earnest money, basically. So let's say if it's
right. Well, so the thing is I mean, you're technically not under contract without consideration. So if you don't put down, earnest money within a certain period of time, you technically don't even have a contract. You know what I mean? With the seller in terms of that.
Yeah, on consideration, it can be $10. It can be on the contract, and the second clause
is we do
10K, $10K after the 20-day period as a non-refundable.
Well, yeah, right. So the thing with that is you're telling, okay, seller, I'm super serious about this. I'm gonna put $10,000 down. I mean, if you're 10, 15 days after they've initially signed the contract, wouldn't that seller be like, hey, where's the earnest money? Is it with the title company? How do you work that? It sounds like you got a good system with it.
When they call me, say, hey, what's going on with the property? Well, my inspectors are up in there, and they're trying to get. I just got a few things on the AC that I need to check. I'm still doing further inspections. Everybody's running projects, so I'm trying to pull people from different places to go check the foundation, check the wiring, check the AC, check the roof, check everything.
So you put your objection deadline after your earnest money deadline?
Yeah, so the consideration is just to make the contract binding. And if they give me this BS, you know what, sir? What if I add there under other provisions that after the 20-day inspection period, if I go forward, I'm going to deposit a $10K non-refundable deposit. Would that make you feel ready to go, or still no? So again, under other provisions, you can put anything. My contracts are like yours, probably a $10 consideration. Like the guy yesterday, he wanted $1,500 consideration. No, I'm gonna give you 10. Now, if you don't want to sell it to me, perfect. Go sell it somewhere else. But if your best bet is talking to me and getting the house sold, but I cannot convince you of that. You have to convince yourself that what I can bring to the table works for you. And if the $10 non-refundable, me putting it on the contract as other provisions, but making sure that I do a $10 binding contract, which makes the contracts binding. If that works for you, perfect. And if it doesn't, you know what? Thank you for being so nice to me on the phone. I wish you can sell your house again, and I'll follow up with you in about 3 months.
Yep, that's good. So that was awesome. So after the inspection period, a larger earnest money deadline for someone who's newer. That's good, man. I love that. That's a good approach. So thanks for sharing.
And remember, all these contracts are negotiable. You can put whatever on. You know what? After 20 days, I'm gonna wear a red shirt and I'll buy your house. Anything. You can put anything. But the main thing here that I've learned from Victor and Justin and other guys in the group, you gotta be confident. Absolutely. If you're a pushover, people are gonna push you over. But again, you're nice when you need to be nice, and when they're basically throwing you crumbs. You know what, sir? It sounds like no matter what I tell you, something that I did or something that somebody else did, it's not gonna make you sell the property right now, and it's understandable. Again, your time is valuable as ours. So I'd rather just end the call right now, and then maybe I'll call you back in 3 months. Maybe you can make an agreement back in that time frame.
Hey, Ace, have you ever had to follow through on that deposit, that non-refundable?
What was that?
I say, have you ever had to follow through with that non-refundable deposit after 20 days?
No, because usually I don't get those objections, but when I can tell that if that's the reason why they don't want to sell, I'll do it. But most of the times, oh no, it's this. So I just put a $10 non-refundable. That's it, $10. Never have I had to do the 10K, 5K, 3K. Never.
No. By that time you found your buyer, so you're already committed, and the buyer is able to fulfill.
So the main reason why they tell you that is because you really want to dig down if it's bullshit. That's the main thing. If it's bullshit that he's telling you that he's not comfortable with you. If he's comfortable with you, then put $10 for consideration to get it binding. Go find yourself a buyer, and then when the buyer comes in, lock it up at 10K.
You know what I found out? I found out that if it don't start out right, it ain't gonna finish right.
That's strong.
Exactly.
That's
hey,
strong.
Exactly. Ace, you know, I know, and I totally understand where you're coming from with that piece right there. I actually did that a few times with attorneys, where I gave an earnest money deposit in the beginning, and I told them once after the inspection time it's over, I give you probably $10,000, $15,000 that you're asking for. So within that time frame, I'm out there hustling and busting my butt off just to get me a buyer. And then once I found me a buyer, we was able to give the money that we actually agreed upon. And that, I think that's actually a good way if you want to lock the deal. But mostly I do that with attorneys because it makes more sense with them and it's more better. So they can actually feel comfortable.
That's right. If you do agree to put in an escrow deposit of 5-10K, make sure that if you get the buyer puts that amount.
The buyer. It's the buyer.
Yeah, the end buyer. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. If the only way to lock this deal up is putting a 10K non-refundable after the 20 days, then your buyers, when you wholesale that contract out, the buyer knows that he needs to put a 10K non-refundable escrow deposit. Correct. And the only way you can move back if they cannot give you clean title.
Correct.
Yeah. That's exactly. Yeah. If you gotta match it. If you're giving the seller 10K non-refundable, you're asking the buyer for 10K non-refundable.
Yeah. Or you probably ask for more.
Yeah, more. If it's a good deal, usually, you can ask for 10, 15. Again, it all goes by the market.
If he's gonna buy, he's gonna give you more. He don't care. 15, 20.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's a deal, you'll put 20K.
Yeah, he'll give you 20.
Yeah, because he's looking at the back end. He understands what his returns are. He understands that he wants this property in this area or whatever the deal is. He's sold on this deal. So it's just money up front before you sign the final documents. It's no big deal to a buyer, especially one who's seasoned and understands what he's doing.
Correct.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So don't let the sellers push you around, guys. Again, That's the main thing that I've learned through the years. Again, a buyer will treat you the way you want to be treated. And if you don't respect yourself, they're not gonna respect you.
Respect you, yeah.
They're gonna push you around, and that's why the guts is here. Yeah. Because again, people get tired of getting pushed around, and I hear it when I go to stores and everything. People get pushed around. Like, man, that's shitty, and you're getting paid minimum wage, and you still allow yourself to get pushed around. Man, that sucks.
Yeah. Yeah, that's real talk right there, guys. That is really the bottom line. And when we talk about guts, it just means having guts. Having the guts to walk on the thin branches and have them, not want to do the deal with you. But what you'll find most of the time is if you qualify these people correctly and you hold them to account on something, they're either going to perform or they're not. And if they're not, you need to know as early as possible. Yeah, because you have too much invested time, energy, loss of other deals that you could have been chasing or closing while they're playing this game with you. All those things are going on while they're over there bullshitting, right? So you have to take control. You have to have the guts to take control of the situation, just like Ace is talking about. You have to posture and a lot of times when you get in there and you start having these conversations, put yourself in a position, stand up tall, stand up, walk around, do whatever it is you have to do to feel that sense of not superiority, but a certain level of knowledge and expertise that you have. Like, I'm running this, right? So sometimes I know a lot of us, we want to sit down and we want to relax and, we're having a conversation and it comes across like that. It comes across like that. And that's not your strongest move. I'm just saying, it's not your strongest move. Your strongest move is to take control of this scenario and say, look, I can get you this, and this, and this is going to solve your problem. Is that correct? Okay, great. If I put this all on paper, you're ready to move forward today. Great. Control. Every deal that has not closed for me, I can always go back and look at where did I lose control. And oftentimes, like I believe Ed was saying, it's at the beginning. It's right at the beginning where I started letting stuff start sort of slip and start to simmer with questions and whatnot. Can't afford it. Hey guys, today was another amazing role play day. Man, you guys are so awesome. Thank everybody for participating. Thank everybody for sharing. I don't have everybody's name on the list, but like Jaime, Jerry, Neil, Rashid, Alex, Aisha, thank you, Aisha, for being here. Ed, thanks for all your input, my friend. Wei Lin, I know you didn't jump in today, buddy. It's always great to see you. Ace, obviously love all your input and feedback all the time, man. Aaron, Joe, Ronnie and Joshua, man, appreciate you guys for jumping in here with us and sharing. Michael Goolsby, my man, appreciate having you. Myra, Jimmy Jean, you know how much I love you, baby.
I appreciate it.
Thanks for showing up. Jaime, always good to see you. Jaime, we're going to get you on these role plays the next time, buddy, because I see you trying to hide in the weeds. We getting you next time. You good with that?
Yeah, Vicky, we appreciate you, man. You do a great job, man.
All right. You guys have a great week. Enjoy your weeks and much success to all of you.
I'll see you tonight.
Thank you.
All
Everyone
right.
have a great day.
All right. Bye-bye, folks.
All right.
Bye.